This is Reese Talks Wrestling here, and we got a Monday Night Raw review on Tuesday Night Takedown. It's where we take down everything that that happened on Monday Night Raw last night. Let's get right into it. So, let me get. So I took down some notes, y'all. It was a pretty interesting Raw. Nothing too special, of course. But it wasn't a bad Raw. It was a pretty decent Raw. For all that happened. So it opens up by Seth asking Cody to come out, and of course Cody comes out. He comes out to a pretty decent pop, and Seth basically tells Cody, like, look, we need answers. We need answers on who you're gonna face at Mania. Like we're here for answers. And I could tell that they're kind of teasing us because they want us to tune in on Thursday. Because if Cody answered the question right there, there'd be no point in tuning in on Thursday to see Rock and Roman, unless you are super interested in that happening, which is very controversial on the IWC. But before Cody could even speak and answer respond to Seth Rollins, he was able to speak and shout out the St. Louis crowd. Shout out to the St. Louis crowd for having their voice heard. They're one of the best crowds. They were the crowd that chanted for Cody in the Cena Knight Uso segment where the Bloodline and Judgment Day teamed up. And this St. Louis crowd was so good. They start chanting Rocky sucks before Cody could even say a word. And even the wrestlers, Seth acknowledged that he didn't expect that. Michael Cole asked if it was 96 again. The fact that they're acknowledging that, especially commentary, because wrestlers can do shoots, especially people of Seth Rollins caliber. But Michael Cole, even though he is pretty decorated in his field, he's probably told to say that or given the okay to say that. So how does WWE address these on Thursday, right? They're going to have their press conference kickoff on Thursday, February 8th. How are they going to take care of that? I don't know. Apparently The Rock isn't moved by it at all. Not sure if that's true or not, but we'll go with it. Drew McIntyre would interrupt Cody before he could answer after the Rocky sucks chants died down. And he was telling everybody, look, I set this up perfectly. I injured CM Punk. Going off the fact that CM Punk is injured. And he even has a shirt that has Punk's meme that he's been posting about Punk being injured at Mania. He tells Cody, look, bro, go finish your story. Seth, me and you supposed to be fighting at Mania. And Seth is looking at him weird like, bro, I already beat you twice. Who said if Cody declines my challenge, I'm going to fight you? And Drew responds basically like, yo, you talking about beating me twice. Cody's beat you 3 times and you want to fight him and you're the champion. So that's pretty good from Drew. What I hope doesn't happen is I don't hope that there's not a triple threat. That's what I hope doesn't happen. But after they go have a little back and forth, Drew would eventually, being the heel that he is, attack Seth. And Cody would attack Drew, basically saying, look, I'm going to do this thing my way. I got it. He would then tweet out at a segment, hey, y'all, I thank y'all for the support. God bless y'all, but I got it. I think that was to kind of hint like at the fans and at Drew, look, I know what I'm doing. I don't need anybody babysitting me, telling me what to do. It was still very vague, and we don't know what's really going to happen probably until Thursday. And I think he put that vague statement out there on purpose. Yeah. It was a pretty decent segment. It leaves us wanting more, and I think that was the goal for that segment. And if it was, they never really accomplished that because I will be tuning in on Thursday to see what happens with Rock, Roman, Cody, and Seth. Next up, Rhea Ripley calls out Nia Jax. Now this is after Becky Lynch qualifies for Elimination Chamber, so she beats Shayna Baszler to qualify for Elimination Chamber, and Rhea Ripley would come out to call out Nia Jax. Now, while she comes out, Adam Pearce is talking to Drew McIntyre saying, look, you can't fight injured stars. You can't be out here headbutting Seth Rollins and getting into fights or someone have to fine you. Of course, in kayfabe, I doubt he's really going to get fined. And behind him is a monitor that shows the titanium board and the ring and the entrance. And Rhea's music hits, and they're seeing that. And Drew's like, yo, I think you got to take care of that. I expected Adam Pearce to return Because right now nobody's respecting his authority. Like Drew was just looking at him like how you look at your dad when he's giving you a lecture or something like that, or like a teacher giving you a lecture at school. Nobody's really respecting his authority, right? Like they're just kind of like waving it off. And I think this was really shown in the Rhea and Nia segment, because Adam Pearce comes out there. He's like, look, chill. You don't even need to fight Nia Jax right now, interrupt the show to get y'all to have a random brawl. I already got y'all scheduled up for Elimination Chamber. And in the middle of him talking to Rhea, Nia Jax music hits. Nia comes out. He tries to stop her. It just doesn't work. She walks right past him, and now we have a Rhea Ripley and Nia Jax brawl. And Adam Pearce brings in security, and really all they do is bring Rhea back because they can't do it to Nia. They bring Rhea back into a corner. Nia goes into the corner, knocks all the security out, and basically beats up Rhea in the middle of the ring. I expect Adam Pearce to have a heel turn. I'm not saying that either of those women are baby faces. I mean, Rhea gets cheers, but obviously in terms of kayfabe, she's in the Judgment Day heel faction. I assume at Mania will be a triple threat: Becky Lynch versus Nia Jax versus Rhea Ripley. I could see that, or just Becky versus Rhea. But I could see Becky versus Nia versus Rhea Ripley for the championship. I don't know if Rhea gets dethroned. Personally, I'm on board with Rhea not being dethroned until the Judgment Day starts a big collapse, which we'll get into later on in the show. We have Gunther. That's the next big thing. I read the last big thing. He's celebrating 600 days as the Intercontinental Champion. Shout out to him. One, on a serious note, Gunther has had an amazing run. He's had a great run as the IC champion. He's been able to put on some masterful matches, specifically the one with Sheamus and Drew at Mania. I mean, you have the one with Chad Gable at Raw. Really, there's not a match that Gunther's in. Even the one with The Miz, there's not a match that Gunther's in that's not going to be about lower than a 4-star match. I mean, he's an amazing wrestler, amazing in the ring. He knows what he's doing. He adds so much realism to the sport. Amazing Intercontinental Champion. Probably the best IC champion we've ever had. No shade to The Miz, of course. And he will claim that he's running out of competition. Claims that he's running out of competition. There's nobody really face him, nobody really challenge him, give him a threat to his championship. And that's when Jey Uso's music hits. I was waiting for this, man. I really was. Because you can't keep having main event Jey and not call him main event Jey, and he's just not winning singles matches, or he's not being put in any singles competition. Unless like that weak match he had last week. Stupid. I want Jey to fight people who have competition and either challenge them and give them a run for their money. And it was a lot that was said during him and Gunther's promo that really stood out to me. One, Jey comes out and Gunther finds it very disrespectful that he's interrupting him. And Jay's like, look, ain't no disrespect, Us. I respect what you've done. 600 days as champion. You're the ring general. Ain't no disrespect. I'm just, he's obviously coming out there for a challenge, challenging Gunther. And Gunther claps back. He's like, yo, no disrespect to you too. Or he didn't say no disrespect to you, but he was like, hey, man, you pretty accomplished too. You're longest reigning tag team champion, the best tag team of all time. And he takes a jab at him saying, look, the best part about your accolades is that you only had to put in 50% of the work. And then he goes and talking about how he's done all the stuff as IC champ by himself. And Jey Uso gives a really good response saying, hey, I guess you're going to get 100% of this work. You know what I'm saying? When I challenge you, when we face off at Elimination Chamber, you finna get 100% of what I'm finna give you. And Gunther would basically talk down on him talk about how he's a tag team champion, how after he beats him at Elimination Chamber, he accepted the challenge basically. After he beats him at Elimination Chamber, he's gonna wish that he was back in the family. He wished that people couldn't tell which Uso he was. And I find this really good because Gunther talks about how he does it all on his own. What I hope happens is that it gets to a point in the match where it looks like Gunther might need help. And Ludwig Kaiser specifically, because he clearly is the dude that WWE's looking at in the Imperium group outside of Gunther. That he's like, yo, I might need to help my boy out real quick. And in the midst of him helping out, he either costs Gunther the championship or Gunther picks up the win, but he doesn't like it. Because now there's an asterisk next to Jey Uso's name. Because besides Seth Rollins, he's the most fighting champion that we have right now. And there's an asterisk next to Jey Uso because he got help. And now Jey Uso can carry that. So it could go a lot of ways. Tell me y'all fantasy booking for that. It could go so many ways. And then even if he wins, you still have to get Jey versus Jimmy at Mania. So it's a lot of routes that WWE has to go through. I like it. I think that having all these segments and matches, it adds so much to what we're gonna get at Mania, and we have to make Mania a big show. And I think that is why they're pushing Rock and Roman, but they also haven't thrown Roman and Cody completely out the picture. We have to make Mania the biggest show as possible, not just because it's going to be WrestleMania 40, clearly a benchmark WrestleMania number. But in the middle of WWE going through a renaissance, we had that Vince McMahon horrible stuff, and there is still more to come. So right now, WWE has to focus on making this WrestleMania as good as possible. Like, they can't afford for this Mania to be bad. So Cody had a match with Nakamura. He got attacked on a live event on Saturday. I'm not the biggest fan of this match. It was one of them rope matches that his father did. I wasn't a big fan of it. I'm looking at all the notes I took on that right now. I wasn't a big fan of it. What has to happen is Nakamura needs a new opponent. He needs a different rivalry. Honestly, maybe him going after Logan Paul would be pretty good. Did him and Logan Paul have a little thing going on? I doubt it. I don't think so. But yeah, him and Logan Paul have a little feud. Maybe, but I'm tired of the stuff with him and Cody. I am. I'm not gonna lie. It's getting repetitive. Cody's gonna win. It's gonna be some weird stipulation, and we all cheer for Cody, and Cody, yeah, hoorah, yeah. So obviously Cody wins this match. Not big fan of it. Drew attacks Cody after this match, and that was the biggest takeaway that I had from it. That was it on the big things that happened. And again, I really hope we don't see a triple threat match between Cody, Drew, and Seth, because he has to win the big one. Even Michael Cole said that he has to win the big one. And when you have commentary saying stuff like that, they're clearly setting something up. I'm not for sure what it is, but they're setting something up. Yeah, that's really it. Raw was pretty decent. Let's look at the smaller stuff that happened. So we have R-Truth and the Judgment Day having their segments. They're pretty good. Of course, R-Truth segment's always pretty good. So R-Truth has this segment with the Judgment Day. He walks in on them having a meeting and discussing DIY winning the Fatal 4-Way match, which we'll get into later. That match was amazing. Easily match of the night. And that just shows you that stories matter much more than matches, because even though all the big stuff that happened, they really weren't matches. They were just storylines and stuff that happened throughout the night. But DIY we're about to get into them. So, R-Truth in the Judgment Day was pretty good. They had a segment where R-Truth, they're in the middle of this meeting about Rhea and DIY winning the being number one contenders for the championship if they win on SmackDown, and they're in the middle of having this big serious confrontation. And R-Truth comes up, he's like, "Hey, yo, what we talking about? What we talking about?" And the crowd, he gets a little pop from the crowd, and what happens is that everybody just leaves. Like Dominic leaves, JD, he starts arguing with him. Dominic pulls him away. Finn Balor tells Damian Priest he can't stand him, and then boom, Damian Priest is like, "Yo, make yourself at home, bro. Good, bro. Make yourself at home." He didn't say it like that, but he did say it. He said, "Make yourself at home," and just walked away. And him being so lenient with R-Truth is going to make them, because remember, a few months ago, Damian Priest called himself the leader of the Judgment Day. So what happens now? Do they support their leader in this decision? What happens now that Damian Priest is just letting him walk in Judgment Day territory, right? I expect either a Damian Priest face turn. I doubt Judgment Day as a group is going to become face. Especially, it's going to be hard to get Dominic. No. But I expect a Damian Priest face turn, and maybe the Judgment Day turning on him, or him turning on the Judgment Day. Something of that happening later. Really just a power difference, right? Because once he cashes in, how are they going to start looking at him if he fails his cash in, right? So, yeah, then Awesome Truth had a match. The Miz had a match against JD McDonough. R-Truth cost him the match in a hilarious way. And Miz and Truth have this backstage segment where they're talking about Awesome Truth, the tag team of Miz and R-Truth. And R-Truth is like, "Hey, Miz, I forgot to give you your cut." Miz is like, "What you mean, what cut?" He's like, "Hey, man, your cut." And he's like, "Bro, I'm not in the Judgment Day." And he was like, "Oh, shoot, that might be on your dues, because, you only got into the, initiated halfway or something." And Miz like, "Bro, we're not in the Judgment Day. I'm not in the Judgment Day. You're not in the Judgment Day." It was just really funny. It was some funny stuff that happened, and I'm glad that R-Truth is giving a really rough refresh to the Judgment Day, because it was getting pretty stale. It was the same thing every night. It was Judgment Day comes out, rerun Monday Night Raw, some random woman or tag team challenges Priest and Balor or Rhea, and then they get squashed, and then they do the same thing every week. So I'm really glad that R-Truth is adding something new to the mix. Maxine Dupree, she's getting some backlash on social media for just being bad in the ring. And again, being a wrestler is really tough, because you have to take criticism like this. And Maxine Dupree has been receiving some backlash on her in-ring work, especially what she showed on Monday Night Raw. She had this one spot. I'll show up on the screen. Just I don't know. Again, she might have to go back to NXT level, do some NXT matches, get better inside the ring. I mean, just some botch spots. Apparently, it's been going on for weeks, and again, she has been on a more comedy gimmick. And this is just one of those things where it's just always it's always Alpha Academy versus the Viking Raiders, and it's just one of those things in Triple H's WWE where it seems like it's just a bunch of jobbing tag teamers, not really solo jobbers, but really like main tag team jobbers, like random people. Like lots of people who are jobbers, they're probably on the tag team. And Alpha Academy and the Viking Raiders, they're in that category, because it's the same. They're always facing each other. It's always the Viking Raiders versus. I don't even know if they have I don't even know what the rivalry is. Like it's just. I don't know. I don't know what they have to do in terms of their characters. They have to switch something up. Again, comedy gimmicks like an R-Truth is fine, but when people aren't finding what they're doing comedy, and it just seems like they're fighting each other to fight each other, and they're supposed to be comedy, but they're really not. I don't find Alpha Academy entertaining, personally. But yeah, they're putting on some decent matches. That's about it. And Maxine Dupree clearly is letting the quality of those matches decrease. So we'll see what the future in stores for her. Again, hopefully she takes this backlash as constructive criticism and just gets better in the ring. And probably, hopefully she can get a main event push. Not main event push, but some type of push in the women's division. The women's division is flourishing right now, and I'm really happy that it is, because we got some really talented women in World Wrestling Entertainment. Speaking of tag teams, that Fatal 4-Way match was amazing. Easily, this is the last thing we're going to talk about, but easily the match of the night. Last but not least, DIY wins. And I've been saying that. Speaking of teams that need character behind them, let's talk about DIY. I mean, amazing in the ring. Amazing in the ring. It was a Fatal 4-Way tag team match. DIY picks up the win, and Johnny Gargano and Ciampa are really good inside the ring. And right now, we just need to put a personality behind that in-ring skill set. The biggest thing about being a wrestler is, can you sell? Can you sell tickets? Can you sell merchandise? Can you bring people into our stadiums? And it's clear that they value that more than, are you good in the ring? Are you decent in the ring? Are you the best in the ring? Because it doesn't matter how good you are in the ring. Can you sell me merchandise? Can we put your face on this t-shirt? Can we put your face on this coffee cup? Can you be a household name and people can buy our tickets? And while DIY is great inside the ring, they need to put a face, put a character, put a personality behind those in-ring skills. And I think they're slowly doing that. And honestly, I hope DIY, they qualify, because you don't want to race good in-ring talent like that. I want them to qualify, be whoever they fight on SmackDown, qualify for the tag team titles, and have a really good, interesting promo segment with the Judgment Day, to the point where even if they lose, they aren't buried. Their dominance isn't squashed. Right? They have a really good match with Judgment Day, and maybe like an interference from like a Dominic Mysterio or R-Truth, something like that, picks him up the win. So picks Judgment Day up the win, because I do want Judgment Day to retain until Mania. So again, I like what I'm seeing, and maybe Judgment Day loses, and then this time Dominic Mysterio and Finn Balor are tag team champions. I don't really want to see JD McDonough unless they give him a push. And then Damian Priest sets his sight on bigger things, quote unquote bigger things, like the championship, like Seth Rollins championship. So there's so many routes they can take. Again, WWE's in a good spot right now. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section below on what's going to happen with Rock, Roman, and Reigns. Despite all the Rocky sucks chants and what's happening and whatnot, wrestling is doing really good. And right now, the question I have is, what happens Thursday? What happens Thursday where we have Rock, Roman, and Cody all in one spot, and we need answers to these questions that the IWC and fans just in general have been having. Shout out to the St. Louis crowd. They did a great job letting people know what we wanted. I heard they muted Rocky chants, Rocky sucks chants. People are letting their voices be heard, and we've seen this before with Daniel Bryan, and we're about to see it again. So let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. Who should be facing who at Mania? Give me some opponents, some booking, some fantasy booking for champions. Who should Rhea face? Well, Bayley's obviously gonna face Eno Sky. Who should Seth face, and who should Roman face at WrestleMania? Let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. This is our Monday Night Raw review. See y'all in the next video.